How you going, good bastards? Brothers and occasional sister. So it's 0.9 of a kilometre around the outside of the farm, the whole outside. So just under a K. And when you do the backwards and forwards bits, it probably works out a kilometre, just done 4 times. So what's that, 4 9s? 36, is that right? 3.6K this morning I've done pushing that beautiful beast. And the reason I push it round is I run around the farm. I run 4 or 5 times around, just a slow jog each day to get these guys fit. And then when I'm pooped, which doesn't take long for me, I jump on my 125 XTZ and keep running them around. Pace is on compo right now because he's got a rip side, which is healing okay, but I don't want to run him until it's healed up properly. Anyway, I thought I would make this opportunity. I thought I would make this opportunity to share with you guys some things about food and my way I view food compared to how I used to do. And it might be helpful for you, it might not. It's only what I've found that works for me. These guys will be getting the all knocked off next week, hopefully. Needs it. Daniel Heath will be back soon to carry on work with this. Also, mate Stuart Webb's going to help us with it too. Awesome, it's coming on just beautifully. So it's midday right now and I still haven't had any breakfast. This morning I got up and I had what I have every morning, a tall glass with hot water, 5 grams of creatine and a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. And that just balances the pH, and then I wash it down after that with just some normal water, because you want to keep that off the teeth. The vinegar can strip the plaques. You've got to be, not the plaque, it'd be good if you can strip the plaque, the enamel. You can strip the enamel off your teeth. And then I'll make a coffee, Chloe's coffee. And thanks Chloe, she dropped in yesterday with her man, all the way from Australia, from Swat Cafe, and gave me some more coffee. She came to the old farmhouse. And this morning I'm a decaf. This morning I threw a few normal beans in. Up there, Poe, where I'll post drinking. She's in the paddock eating that bloody pig's head, or the skull. Oh, she'll come in. There you go, mate. Anyway, long story short is that's my fuel for the morning. It's not really fuel, it's just a way to get me started. We'll leave you out for a wee walk now, eh? By yourself. Good boy. The old posse we'll give you that one there. You go in your box, there you go. With Poe. There you go, mate. Don't scoff it. There you go, nut. Slow down, Johnny. About 5 or 6 years ago, I started to become metabolically sick. When you're metabolically sick, then you get things like cancer and heart disease and diabetes and all those horrible shit things. You don't want to become metabolically sick. Your whole metabolism just doesn't function properly, and it's food-borne most of the time. There's other factors too that cause it, but for most people it's food. It's just going to stuff you up. We're going to be too hot in here, I think. We'll take some clothes off. Whew, it's way cooler. So, like so many of us, when I became sick, I started looking for answers, and I went to a lot of the wrong places. I started listening to influencers like Dr. Eric Berg and the list goes on, Ken Barry, and different people that were popular in their field, but a lot of them had just gone with their own bias of stuff, and I came unstuck basically. I went to 1 meal a day and basically a ketovore diet, and I managed to keep one disease at bay, which was cancer, but I developed another one, which I probably already would have already started, atherosclerosis of the coronary arteries. And so I went on this journey to try to heal myself, and I learned very quickly that influencers were the wrong place to listen. And that's why I always tell you guys, don't listen to me. Just listen to my story and take from it what you want. But this is only my journey, and we're all different, and different things work for different people. It also has got to do with your genetics. Some people genetically do better on other sort of protocols. But from all the science that I read, in fact, everything I could gather, for my particular disease, which was a couple of diseases, a whole food, predominantly plant-based diet was going to be the answer. Definitely going to cut out things. So I started doing that there, and the trouble with that was a lot of it was also complex carbohydrate, which is good for you. It was a lot of protein as well, beans, legumes, pulses, seeds, nuts, lots of protein there, and fat, but a lot of complex carbohydrate. And with the fruit, the triglycerides went up. That's the amount of fats that are in your blood. That's a very, very rough outline of that. So what I started doing to fix that was I started thinking about food and why would the sugars go up in my blood. And I realised it's because I wasn't burning it. So my whole picture of what food is has changed. And I now look at food just like the petrol I put in my lawnmower, or the diesel I put in my 70 series Land Cruiser. I'm scared to say truck these days because an Aussie will jump down my throat. My ute, my van, my wagon, my truck, my lorry, whatever you want to call it. I now look at food the same. So this morning when I woke up, and I don't do this every morning, I didn't feel hungry because I didn't do anything yesterday hardly except editing, sitting on my ass, which I fucking hate. It's like sitting's the new smoking. And I got a rowing machine down here on the floor, and I get up and I do 100 pulls every hour to break it up, but it still isn't enough. And so I just didn't burn any energy yesterday. So when I woke up this morning, I thought, I'm not hungry. So I had what I normally have, the drink with the creatine and the coffee and the apple cider vinegar, and I went to work on the farm. I did some jobs around the dog kennels, cleaned a bit of stuff around there. I did some clean up in here, did some work on stacking stuff down at the shed, and then I pushed the lawnmower 3.6 k's around the farm for the exercise strip for the dogs and me. And I'm still not hungry. I haven't used up all that fuel that I had from yesterday. It was burning in me. This hasn't been burnt up yet. So when I do eat, I eat when I'm ready to fuel myself. Now I have lost weight, but I haven't lost a lot of muscle considering how crook I've been in the past. And I certainly haven't lost my strength or my fitness. Well, fitness is a thing that comes pretty quick. 6 weeks of training, you get your fitness up. But muscle's a different one. And as we grow older, we lose 1%. Well, we do lose 1% every year. It's just a fact. But if we don't do resistance training or some form of exercise, it can be more than that. And we can actually slow that process down by using it. Don't use it, you lose it. So for me, what's worked for me is to treat food as a fuel and nothing more. Don't use it for making myself feel good. Don't use it for when I'm feeling a bit empty inside, which I feel a lot of the time because it's how I'm wired. I often think, oh, I'm missing something. I look around, I want to do something. And I will resist the temptation to pick up my phone and scroll. And I'll resist the temptation to stick something in my mouth. And I'll think, what can I do to fill the gap? And I'll drink some water, or I'll jump on the lawnmower and push it around the farm. I'll do something which is burning up fuel rather than trying to feed that dopamine machine, which for me is a struggle for me because I've got such an addictive personality to getting a buzz all the time. That's one of the reasons I love hunting. It gives me the biggest buzz in the world. It's like it feeds that buzz, and if I don't get it, I get a bit antsy and get a bit. But we've become so bloody comfortable in our society today, and that's where metabolic illness has come around. We don't have to work hard to get food. In the old days, you might have to work all day out in the farm to bring a few carrots and a few potatoes inside and sit down and have a feast. These days, you just open up a fridge or a Tupperware container, you got nuts in it, or go to your pantry and you got a can of beans you can crank over. You don't have to work hard for it. So this is not natural for us just to be comfortable. And I think growing comfortable is the downfall of us. And I had grown too comfortable in the past. I was enjoying making a YouTube channel. I was doing a bit of hunting. I was doing a bit of editing. But I was eating like a pig. And I became metabolically sick. Now reversing that's been a hell of a challenge and a hell of a journey for me, and I've paid the price. I've lost things, I've lost lots of stuff. My income has dropped by half in the last, it dropped by half. There's an absolute correlation of when I got sick, and you can see it just fall right off. I earn half what I did, but also my output became half. And I'm only slowly crawling back, getting that right. And I never had a doctor or anybody to guide me. There was nobody really that point me in the right direction. Maybe there was and I wasn't listening, but sometimes it just takes a bloody crisis to make you pull your finger out of your bum and make the changes that are necessary. Now this is what's worked for me. Everybody's different. Everyone's got their own challenge and their own journey. And the hardest thing is shaping motivation and enduring the change and imposing upon yourself self-discipline. So to my thinking, the best way to have a better existence, and I've said it before, is to every day impose self-discipline on yourself. Do the jobs you hate the most first, get those things out of the way, and then don't sit back and relax. Then look at what else needs doing and tackle that. And eventually you can sit down and have that meal or that glass of wine or whatever it is that you love when you've really, really earned it. For me, it's a good meal and a belly laugh with mates. In fact, nothing really trumps a belly laugh with good mates. I like the socialisation of good friends, having a laugh after we've been for a hunt or a fish. But scoffing my food or filling myself up and not burning that energy is a recipe for me for sickness. And it's taken me a long time to work it out. That's today's little blurb, brothers and the occasional sister. I hope this one finds you well and you are getting something from these little videos that I make when I get time. I hope they're of use and they add some value to your life. And you're doing okay with the tools you've got and what your journey is, because we're all got our own path. And this has been my path I'll share with you today. Have a cracker. See you later. And go steady. Bye.